at that time, um, what was going on in your life at that time? You spoke now your joy of spending time with Jesus, and you've always spent time with Jesus, but this vibrance, this joy, this exuberance that we feel from you was not there then. What happened? Who was Elin then? And just tell us what you a little bit of then, and then we're going to talk a lot more about now.
Yes. Yeah, I was always a Christian, and I always had a passion for Jesus and a longing for him. But I think like my longing, it just gave me a depression, really, because I didn't feel that I actually got everything that I longed for. So I was actually depressed for many years. And also I got sick. I got really sick with heavy metal poisoning in my body, and the doctors could not do anything with me. So I think like I met you probably when I was sick, did I?
Yes.
Yeah. So then I was really sick and I couldn't really do that much at all. I didn't have any
Energy.
energy or strength to do anything. So, and I was constantly pain and I had all these things going on. So yeah, that was a really difficult season in my life.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
Yeah. Why I'm saying this, I'm laying this foundation because of all of our guests. By the way, welcome everyone who is joining. I love to stay in touch with all of our viewers, church members, family and friends all around the world. Nigeria is on already. Norway, of course, India, and just different countries are joining and coming. You're all welcome in Jesus' name. And if you're just joining, this is going to be one of the best evenings for you. Be expectant to hear what God can do. What God can do with a life that seemingly was meaningless and depressed, and to a life that is vibrant and joyful and bringing that same passion to other people. So when I met you, like you said, it wasn't. It was a girl who was just tired all the time, no energy. There was this. There was a flicker of hope. You had a flicker. You always had that in your eyes. I knew something had to happen with you because there was that flicker of hope, even though the physical. When I remember, sometimes we'll ask you, will you join for a meeting? You say yes, and then before then it's like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm sorry, I can't come. So I knew there was something inside. Now we're looking at Elin. Elin was weak and tired, and just was literally giving up, depressed. And tell us a little bit about the journey. How did you find your vibrance? How did you find the king in a way that answered your question? Because I know somebody's watching who maybe have heard your story, but is there something that you want to say through this story tonight?
No matter what your situation is like, no matter what the doctor told you, and no matter what, there is always hope when you have Jesus. You are never in a hopeless spot with Jesus, and he can always save you. And he did that for me, and I know that that's his heart, that is character, that is his will, that is something he want to do for everyone.
Yeah.
He wants to set us free. That's what he
Yes.
died for.
Yes.
So for me, that was like, when you long for him, when you seek after him, he's faithful. He will meet you. He sees you. He hears every prayer, everything that you are sacrificing for him, he sees it. And for me, I spent years before this seeking Jesus with all of my heart. I really longed for him. I really longed for everything that he can give me. I wanted him to be real for me. I wanted to see him. I wanted crazy stuff that nobody else seems to long for, but I wanted it.
Amen.
I wanted like Jesus to be real for me. I knew he was real, but I wanted him to be real in my life. I wanted to feel him. I wanted to experience him. I want to be used by him. I want to see his face. And I had all these prayers inside of me that I wanted Jesus to show me, how much do you love me? How much did you like, or I mean, like, what did you think of when you created me? What are your plans for me? Because in my life, the reason I was depressed was because I saw around me and I felt like I didn't fit into anything. I didn't long for the things that people longed for. I didn't want them. I just wanted Jesus, and I wanted to live in the plan that he had for my life.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't have that, I felt like for me it was no reason to live, because I didn't feel that I saw any purpose in anything else. And I know, and I've been blessed. I've been blessed in my life. I have all options that you can have. And I have traveled the world and I've seen it all, it feels like. But still, for me, everything was emptiness. And I just felt this emptiness inside. And that made me depressed, because I just felt like if I don't have Jesus, I know I believe in him, I have him, of course I saved, but I felt like if I cannot have more than this, is
Yeah.
no reason for me to live. I felt like that. For me, it was no life. It was no life to just be a Sunday Christian for me, to just have him in my heart and read my Bible and say my prayers and just go on with my day. That was not me. I was kind of like all or nothing girl. I always been like that. So for me, it was like, you better show up, Jesus, or else you can just take me home.
Wow.
For me, it was like that. And of course, Jesus hears that prayer. When you seek him, he hears. And of
Amen.
course, that's what he wants too. He
Amen.
wants us to be filled with him. But for me, I didn't get my answer right away. I had to like really seek him for years, and I didn't understand, like, because I saw everyone else just receiving just from one prayer. But for me, I just felt like, he didn't see me in my heart, but of course he did. And he had his reasons. So when I got sick, everything changes. So I was actually not depressed when I was sick. I was depressed years before I got sick.
Yeah.
But when I got sick, something happened. God just started to manifest himself in my life. And I was not just tired. I was, I don't know the English word, like I was more than tired. I was sick. My body didn't function. I know now when you're healthy, when you say you're tired, that's totally different from what I was feeling in my body. So I didn't have like anything, and I lost everything, and I was in pain and all these things. So in the natural, I had no hope. I had no future. I had nothing. I was just bedridden. And I think when the time you met me, Joseph, I was a little bit better, because of course when I was in the beginning, I was so sick, I could not go anywhere. I was just really in my bed all the
That's
time.
true.
But but in that time, I just didn't understand, because I felt like when people would ask me like, how are you doing? Didn't know what to answer, because one part of me was like, I have never been worse in my whole life. I feel like I'm
Wow.
going to die. No, I can die tomorrow. I feel like I'm so bad. But on the other side, I was happy inside. I was like, what's going on? For the first time for years, I was happy inside. And that was because I felt Jesus. I felt his presence.
Amen.
I felt him in the room. I felt that I was not alone. He was there, and he started to speak to me and do things with me, like in the spirit, like I didn't understand. And it was like totally new for me. So I was happy.
Amen.
Yeah, God is so good. And then he just started to do so much. And during that time I was sick, I started to get all my prayers answered.
Amen.
Everything. He just started to manifest himself, to the point that one day I actually saw him in my living room, face to face. He just stood there.
Wow.
And of course that will change you. You will never be the same. And that's where I really changed from the inside out. Then I just fell in love, and I was like, it just changed all of me. And then I got that passion.
Amen.
I just got the passion for him in another way. I just didn't now just believe in him, but now he just became my everything. And I couldn't stop thinking about him. After that meeting with him and God, meeting you face to face and really filling me with the love that I longed for, that I prayed for. Can you show me how much you love me? He showed me that day. It just all my body was just filled with liquid love.
Amen.
And he started speaking to me, not with words, but he just spoke to me with his mind, and I could understand everything.
Yeah.
And he just said, that no one can love you as much as I do. I know you. I know you better than anyone. I know everything about you. Of course, I knew this before, but when he says it, like face to face, it
There's
means
more
something
meaning.
else. Yeah, it's a whole other meaning, and it just gets into your soul in another way.
Yeah.
And of course, you can never be the same after that. So I started thinking about him all the time.
Wow.
Before this, I had more like, I think like normal Christianity is like, of course, we want to think about Jesus all the time. We want to be praying all the time, and we want to like be like that. But we cannot. I feel like I could at least not. I could not. I had to restrain myself. I really have to like take my, how do you say, like you just pull yourself together, and now I'm gonna like have some Jesus time. I'm gonna like pray. I'm gonna think about him. And it doesn't come naturally to just think of him. But after that meeting with him, meeting him like that, it just happened, all day long. I could not stop thinking about him. I could not get him out of my mind. The last thing I was thinking about before I went to sleep was Jesus. The first thing on my mind in the morning was Jesus. Oh, I started dreaming about Jesus. It was just Jesus all day long,
Amen.
So when you just have that encounter, it changes you. And then you
Does.
start becoming what the Bible tells you, that you're going to pray and rejoice all the time. Then it just happens
You know,
automatically. You don't have to pull yourself together anymore.